Yes. So can you tell me what exactly is geography? Anyone? Study of Earth. Aditya Sharma says study of Earth is geography. Is it right? Do you agree to me? See, in simple terms, if I have to tell you what exactly is geography, your textbooks and definitions will say that geo means earth and graphy means to describe. I know many of you generally try to define geography as this way, that earth description or study of earth, this is geography. But for your competitive examination understandings, this is not how you have to approach geography. See, the approachment of geography should be, it is study of earth as a home to human beings. Now this is geography. Okay. I'll come back to the definitional aspects again after some time. In a meanwhile, try to understand why is it being defined as study of earth as a home to human beings, right? I'll try to explain you both the definitions, and I'll also try to tell you where do you have to draw the boundaries, right? And let me quickly give you a glimpse what are we going to do today. Firstly, I'll be talking about the syllabus. I'll also be talking about the main syllabus. I'll also be talking about कौन सा चैप्टर आपको पहले पढ़ना चाहिए, राइट? फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस इज जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी. यूजुअली देर आर 6th क्लास से लेकर 12th क्लास तक एनसीईआरटी बुक्स आर देयर. नाउ डू यू हैव टू रीड ईच एंड एवरी बुक? इन व्हाट ऑर्डर डू यू हैव टू रीड, एंड विच चैप्टर you need to keep the priority first? Do you have to read the chapter in detail, or do you only have to just give a glimpse? I'll tell you all of this. But before that, I also wanted to give you a complete picture on the subject of geography. Without that, you will not have the essence of reading NCERTs, right? So these are the chapters which you have to read from class 6, class 7, class 11 when you are reading geomorphology. So read geomorphology once at a go. And you have climatology also. I have the entire list waiting for you, right? So before I give this list, what you have to do is you should make sure to tell me the questions that I am going to ask to you, right? Only then I would be enthusiastic enough, and I will be charged enough to give this content to you, right? Okay. See, if you want all this chapters order, what you can do is you can go join the Telegram link description, the Telegram channel, which the link is given in the description. There, this PPT will be given without any charge. It is free of cost. There you can go and download that, right? All the chapters list wise it is given, and all this, which chapters to study, which chapters to be avoided, all of this will be put into our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description. Okay, now let's come back. We were discussing about the topic called what is geography. So someone said that description of the earth or study of the earth. So I told you that geography means it is study of earth as a home to human beings. See, on the earth you will find there is construction. You will also see construction elements. You will also see human elements. You will also see nature. You will also see celestial bodies, something in the atmosphere. Everything comes under the subject called geography. Okay. When you study all of these aspects as a home to human beings, that is nothing but geography, right? So this is how you have to approach this subject. Clear? Now, what exactly does geography consist of for your competitive examinations? See, broadly speaking, geography can be divided into 2 major streams, right? Now, what are those streams? Let me tell you the streams. See, geography as a subject can be broadly divided into physical geography and human geography, right? Geography as a subject, I told you, can be divided into physical geography and human geography. So someone in the comment section said that, sir, it is geography is the study of physical features, right? Geography is the study of physical features. So what do you mean by physical features? Can anyone? See, all of these things are clearly defined in the syllabus. Let me show you the syllabus first. Now, this is a broad syllabus of UPSC Civil Services Examination. I'll also show you the syllabus of Central Armed Police Services Examinations, that is CAPF examination, CDS examination, Manlo, Railways, or you take any examination. This is the syllabus. But you need to have a clear-cut understanding about the entire syllabus. So, see, our preliminary examination mein syllabus, it clearly says that general issues, it is Indian and world geography, which includes physical, social, economic geography. Physical geography of India, social geography of India, and economic geography of India. That means 3 broad aspects. And the same way, it also shows you that salient features of the world's physical geography. Now look into the first sentence of the syllabus. It says that salient features of the world physical geography. Now here falls the physical geography. Now what do you mean by physical geography? Physical geography mein there are 5 different components. Now what are these 5 different components? Let me write it here. And meanwhile, what I would request you is, please also make a short note while I discuss here, because this is a holistic understanding which you will get in a very short period of time. And I'll also give you all the chapter numbers, chapter by chapter, book by book, what book you have to read. So firstly, we have been learning about the physical geography, right? And it is salient features of world physical geography. This is taught. Now what do you mean by physical geography? Let's see. Physical geography includes this physical geography. It will tell you that firstly, it has geomorphology. Now, before I discuss geomorphology as a subject, I'll give you the list of books that you have to read. I'll also tell you what chapters you have to read. So let's quickly go back to the PPT here and please make a quick note down of these chapters. See, go to class 6 and read chapter number 5, chapter number 6, right? Go to class 7 NCERT of geography, read chapter number 2, chapter number 3. Then let me move aside so that you can see. Go to class 11. Class 11 ke andar there are 2 books. The first book of class 11, which talks about, just a minute. The first book in the class 11 which talks about fundamentals of physical geography. Now this is a book which clearly talks about all the physical aspects which are included in the world physical geography. Now this says that it also tells you to study about the beginning of the earth. How did the earth form? Okay. Many of you know that how did the earth form? Earth formed from a theory called Big Bang theory, right? You know it. Anyone who have studied the basic NCERTs or yet to study, they might be having a brief idea that earth jo hai, it came from a concept called singularity. Can anyone tell me what is singularity? What is singularity? See, the study of geomorphology broadly starts from the origin and evolution of the earth. What is this origin and evolution of the earth? That means it talks about the origin of this earth. How did the earth form? Or how did the world form? How did the entire universe form? This is what the beginnings of the geomorphology starts. It tells you that you go and start your reading from the Big Bang theory. And this is what is given in class 11 NCERT in the fundamentals of physical geography in the chapter number 2. So, to give you a brief idea, let me tell you how did the formations of the universe took place. Okay. So I have Rishabh in the offline class. I wanted to ask him a question. What is Big Bang theory? . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . कोई sudden explosion हुआ, right? Why did that sudden explosion happen? There are many explosions that will take place on a daily basis, bomb blastings or any unforeseen circumstances, blastings will take. Like that, a similar kind of event took place 13.6 billion years ago. Now, to understand the concept of the Big Bang Theory, the origin and the evolution, let me give you a small glimpse. The glimpse is, see, our Big Bang Theory says that the entire universe came out from a single tiny ball, or as small as a point, the nib of this stencil, that was the size of the universe in the initial days. And this is what our NCERT talks. It says that the earth or the universe came from this. How? It is because, for example, to understand the concept of Big Bang Theory, let me give you a small example. In our offline class, we have Rishabh, and I have decided that I will be putting somewhere around 100 people into this classroom. So what happens to the temperature of the classroom? Temperature of the classroom increases. Pressure in the classroom increase hoga. And I have got an idea that I will be bringing 500 more people and making them sit in the class. What happens? Temperature increases. Pressure increases. Density of the classroom also increases. Now I have got an idea. The entire Chandigarh population को मैं इस classroom में fit करने की सोच रहा हूँ. What happens to the temperature? काफी ज़्यादा होगा. Or else, if you are watching it online, just imagine that you wanted to put somewhere around 5,000 people into your home. What happens to the temperature? Temperature increases. Similarly, the entire population of your city you are putting into your home. What mode are you doing? You're breaking their bones, or you're making them into small pieces, making their density increase. So like that, our Big Bang Theory says that our entire earth को compress करके एक छोटा सा point की तरह बनाओ. Possibility है. Big Bang Theory says that yes, possibility hai. Now what will be the temperature of the earth then? Infinite. The temperature of the other, the pressure component, the density component, infinite density. Now bring all the celestial bodies and compress it. When you compress that, it is actually, you will find that the entire earth in universe, all the universe components, they are compressed into single entity, and then it is nothing but a tiny ball. And this tiny ball, जहाँ पर infinite temperature, infinite pressure and infinite density, if you have anything in them, that is called as singularity. Means you are having infinite pressure, time, infinite pressure, density, everything into this. That is singularity. And your NCERT talks about this singularity, right? So once on one fine day, the Big Bang Theory says that this entire universe got exploded, and this explosion took place in this form. So because of that, there are many materials that exploded into the universe, and finally this tiny dot, which you see it on the screen as a small dot, it exploded and it gave rise to the Big Bang Theory. And over a period, now there are terms that have been used. What are those terms? The terms such as, if you read the NCERT, you will have a term called accretion, differentiation, these are the keywords. Okay. Without writing these keywords, if you write your examination, you will not get marks. भले 10 मार्क के लिए मान लो आपको 4-5 तो 4 या 3 तो मिल जाएगा, but to get that extra additional marks, you have to use these keywords where you will get 5 to 6. Right? So that's why reading the NCERTs is prime most important. Right? So what topics to be read? Come back. I've been telling you that you have to read the chapters of class 11 में. Start to read from chapter 3 से लेकर chapter 7 तक, and chapter 2 complete chapter 2. That means chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6, chapter 7. These are the chapters which you need to read from class 11 NCERT. And you also have an other component, that is class 11 mein there is another book, India Physical Environment. That India Physical Environment book you have to read again. That is, I will tell you where you have to read that book. Next, see, our geomorphology also tries to address few more components. Now, what exactly is geomorphology? See, geomorphology tries to tell you that ghost, it tells you, firstly, if this is your earth, on the earth you have mountains, you have a plain area, you have a plateau area, maybe you might have a depression. So here you will get to know that our earth is not a uniform landmass. Our earth can be of this. Now in some depressions you can have some water, right? Here you can have some water, right? And our earth is an irregular landmass. This is how the exact earth looks like. It's not a spherical, proper spherical shape. You empty the oceans, it looks in different form. Now our geomorphology tries to tell you and explain you the reasons why are these mountains formed, why this plateau formed, why this plain formed, and why this oceans formed. So here it talks about why they are formed, where they are formed, and how they are formed. In all of this, firstly, to understand the essence of the subject, you need to have the idea of the evolution of geography. ठीक है, evolution of geography. असल की ये subject evolve कैसे हुआ, पहले आपको ये जानना चाहिए. See, if you go back to the history, the subject says that there were some travelers. These travelers, they used to move from this place to this place. While they started to move, they got to see that, oh, there is a mountain. They started to write, the mountain is tall, and the mountain is, maybe this mountain is tall, this mountain is not so tall. This mountain is having a bend. The axis of the mountain is bent. So they started to describe, and they saw plains, plateaus. अरे यहाँ पे इस जगह पे ये है, उस जगह पे वो है. They started to record. So in the initial days, what did they do? They start to describe, right? Travelers, when they are moving from one place to another place, they started to describe the earth. So that's why in the first page, I've told you that how do you define geography. So I told you geography can be defined as, geo means earth and graphy means to write. What did they write? It is description. Description of the earth or describing the earth. That means earth को describe करो, देखते हुए, this is how it is, that is how it is. That's why geography can be described as, it is earth's description, right? This is also, you define geography. And slowly the travelers, they were the ones, the primary contributors to the geography. And little later, those travelers' content also went into history. If they wrote about philosophy, it went into philosophy. But holistically, it is said that what that is history has to be learnt geographically, and what that is geography has to be learnt historically. So this is the essence of this. This all essence can be understood by reading just NCERTs, no doubt. Okay. Now, this is what your geomorphology talks about. Your geomorphology talks about formations of every component that you see on the surface of the earth. So, have you ever visited Himalayas? Yes? You are from, Rishabh is from Himachal. So, you might have definitely visited Himalayas. So, if I ask you a question, are the rivers first or the mountains first? Which have formed first? So Rishabh says maybe mountains. So anyone in the online, can you tell me, are the mountains formed first or the rivers formed first? Why mountains first? See, these are things which geomorphology tells you. These are your mountains, right? In between mountains, you might see some river, right? Or else, if I have to draw this, this is a river which might be flowing right. So is the mountains first or the rivers first? Rishabh says, sir, maybe the mountains. Your geomorphology tells you that in India, the rivers such as Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra or Indus, they were there even before the formation. Okay? This is how you learn when you read NCERTs. It is the rivers which have formed first and later mountains came. Now it is very hard to believe this, but this is the truth. We have evidences. Right? In the current affairs, you might be hearing that Joshimatek incident hua, jahan par subsidence of land is happening. Now why is that subsidence happening? In the current affairs, you might have heard about many things, but the basics of that particular topic called subsidence will be there in the NCERT. Now which chapter it is there? The chapter number, I can tell you, it is present in a chapter called chapter number landforms. There is a separate chapter which talks about the landforms and their evolution. Now go home today and read about this chapter called landforms and their evolution, which is in the chapter number 3 se lekar chapter number 7 ki beech mein. There, how a subsidence happens, what kind of lands will be there, that you will get here. Right? So let me see how many of answered, sir. Mountain, glacier have been formed first. This is what the Emperor Bharat has told. Then river. These are Indus, Brahmaputra. They are antecedent rivers. Very good, Sunil. See, Sunil have used a term called, sir, Indus, Brahmaputra, the rivers, they are called as antecedent. Okay? Antecedent rivers. Now what are these antecedent rivers? Antecedent rivers matlab a river which is flowing against the slope. Okay? If I have a mountain, if there is a river, if it is flowing in this direction, this is called consequence, which is flowing in the direction of the slope. But you have a mountain, but this river which is cutting across the mountains, making a valley in the mountains and then crossing, it is flowing against the slope. These are called antecedent. Very good, Sunil. Now come back. So this is what is your geomorphology, right? Now you need to have the other next component of physical geography. So we have learned about physical geography, right? So I told you your physical geography includes first one, it is geomorphology, and second one, it is climatology. Third one, it is oceanography, and fourthly, it is biogeography, and fifth one, it is environmental geography. So your syllabus only talks about physical geography. Any exam you write, any exam, be it CDS, be it CIPF, be it your UPSC Civil Services, SSC, or any exam you write, they mention about this syllabus. Nowhere they mentions about geomorphology, climatology, oceanography. So this physical geography has 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We have discussed about this topic, right? Fine. Now we'll jump to the climatology. So firstly, let me tell you what chapters to be read from NCERTs. Okay. So which books, which class book you need to know. So in the climatology, if you go, you have class 6 book, 6th class book mein, go and read chapter number 2, chapter number 3. 7th class book, chapter number 4. Go to class 11. 11th class NCERT, which is Fundamentals of Physical Geography book. See, while I tell you here, you can also make a note if you're watching it online, right? So क्लास 11 में चैप्टर 8 से लेकर चैप्टर 12 तक, these are the chapters which you need to read from this NCERT, right? That means 2 chapters here, next chapter, that means one chapter here, and then 4 chapters here. So overall, you only need to read these 7 chapters. So what students generally do is they read 6th class book, then they go read 7th class, they read 8th class, 9th class. By the time they come to the 10th class, they forget what they had read in the 6th, 7th, 8th. ठीक है, 6th class book में 6th class बच्चों के लिए लिखा गया था वो वाला book, that is 6th class book. It is not meant for high grade person, but when you start to read in this order, you will have a complete picture of climatology. Right? Now let me tell you what you have got in the climatology. How do you have to approach? Climatology mein, firstly, let me define the term called climate and climatology. See, in the climatology, if we start to study anything and everything up to 0 से लेकर 10 kilometers into the atmosphere, that means 0 kilometers to up till 10 kilometers into the atmosphere, any phenomena that you see, be it the cloud formations, be it the rainfall, be it the movement of wind, cyclone, tornadoes, glacier meltings, all of this comes under your climatology, right? And here 90% of the climatology we will be studying from 0 to 10 kilometers, and rest 10% of the climatology is in above 10 kilometers, right? So this is how your syllabus is clearly defined into, and here 90% is here. That means you are studying anything and everything above the surface of the earth. In the geomorphology, what did you study? You studied what is there on the surface of the earth. That means you will be studying about the mountains, the rivers, maybe deep valleys, depressions, how they have been formed, and also what is there in the interior of the earth, that also you will study. It is mostly about the formations, right? Now this is your geomorphology. In the climatology, you will be studying about what is there on the surface in the air, from rainfall in the winters to the monsoons, everything, all this. Now the order of study, I have already given you the chapter numbers. So here I wanted to ask you, what is climate? Can you define me? How is it different from weather? Yes, Rishabh says, sir, weather to change hota rehta hai every time. So weather keeps on changing. Today it was rainy in the early morning, and then in the afternoon it was sunny, and in the evening it might be cloudy. This is weather. Similar kind of weather you can also see in the United Nations, what you see in your hometown. It might be cloudy there also, it might be cloudy here also. It is clear weather. This is weather. But when you start to study that weather for a time period of 30 odd years, that will be your climate. Climate is a study of space and time. Space मतलब एक जगह पे एक limited period of time तक, if you start to study this, that is your climate, right? So the study of climatology includes, I told you, chapter numbers of class 11 3, so sorry, this is now chapter numbers from 8 to 12. इस chapter numbers में क्या है यहाँ पर? यहाँ पे वो चीज लिखा है जो fundamental understanding you need to have, right? What is this fundamental understanding? Now let me give you an example, or let me ask you a question. Can you define me what is wind? How do you define wind? Anyone in the online? Anyone in the online can tell me what is wind? How do you define wind? Wind is movement of air from one place to another place. These basic definitions will be given there. right? Now, why is that wind moving from one place to another place? It is because of change in the pressure. Now, why do you have that difference in pressure? It is because of temperature variations. But if I ask you, what is the temperature of today? You might have traveled and you have come here. What is the temperature? Afternoon क्या temperature था in Chandigarh? It was around 15 to 17 degrees Celsius or 18 degrees Celsius. But how did the temperature of the atmosphere got, or else how did the temperature is given or attained to one particular area? So see, my question here is, if suppose if your hometown has a temperature of 17 degrees Celsius, that means this part of the area is somewhere around, or if you are living here, your temperature would be 17 degrees Celsius. How did this temperature is attained to this place? To what mode? Anyone in the online? How do you think there is this particular area has a temperature of 17 degrees? Source क्या है? Sunny तो है, right? If I ask you what is the temperature of this room, this is 20 degrees Celsius or 18 degrees Celsius, 17. Outside temperature is 15, 17. But how is that temperature being calculated, or what is the basis on which that area has that temperature? Is it because of the sun rays? Is it because of the sun's heat? Yes? No, everyone will say yes to this. See, imagine this is your earth, okay, and this is your sun. So sun's rays every day in the morning, it comes and reaches the surface of the earth, right? That means, let's see, imagine that this is the 10 kilometer above the surface of the earth, okay? That means while the sun is incoming, do they come and heat the air? They heat the surface. Very good. It is not actually the sun's rays while they come and reach this earth. It is these rays are not heating the air which is present in the atmosphere. Okay? First they come, they heat the earth in the name of insolation. When these incoming solar radiation, the solar rays or the solar radiation which is incoming, they come and heat the earth first. Okay, earth will get heated. Once this is heated, this heat is being given to, the heat will start to radiate out. Okay. It is not the incoming solar radiations which is heating the air. It is actually they come and heat the earth, and earth will start to heat the air in contact with it. And suppose if you are staying here, your body will be having that heat, or your air around will be receiving the heat from the earth. It is not the incoming solar radiations, that is insolation is not the one which is heating. Why? Because these are short waves, and the radiation that the earth is sending out is the long wave. And you know that 0 से लेकर 10 kilometers तक which type of atmosphere you find, or what are the gases that you will find? You say that nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen मिलता है, methane, yes, carbon dioxide, argon, yes. Nitrogen in the atmosphere is what percentage? Nitrogen is 78, very good. Oxygen is 21%. Is 21.09, 78.01, near about 99% of the air in this category is nitrogen and oxygen, right? So I have a small question for you. when you're breathing air, what air do you inhale? Do you also inhale nitrogen, oxygen? Do we also inhale that nitrogen? Inhale करते हैं, but yes, very good. So for suppose, let's see, if you take a glass, I'll come back and explain you why is that heat is given into, but before that you need to understand a simple concept. What is written, these concepts are written in the NCERTs itself. You need to have that idea. So I've taken a glass and I've got an idea that I'm going to close the lid of this glass. Now what air is present in this glass? What is the composition of the air? The composition of the air here is, this glass, it will be having around 78% will be nitrogen, 21% will be oxygen, and carbon dioxide is 0.03, and you have argon. This is the composition of the atmosphere air, or the air which you are having in your home is this composition, right? Now in this, you go up till 10 kilometers, you'll find the same composition. Up till 60 kilometers also, you'll find similar kind of composition, right? That means the air that you are tapping, it is having 78% of nitrogen. Now in this, there are some good gases, there are some bad gases, and there are some greenhouse gases. What is this good gas, bad gas, and greenhouse gas? See, greenhouse gases are those gases, the shortwave radiations which are coming from the sun, they will not get, or they will not heat that air. It is actually the heat that is generated from the earth. These heat will be trapped by that greenhouse gases. Okay? The heat will be trapped by the greenhouse gases, because of which, if you increase the greenhouse gas concentration here, the outgoing radiation which is there, it will be tapped. These gases will take that heat and bind it, and then make you feel suffocated, or make you feel so much heat, right? So this is what is the incoming solar radiations and the outgoing terrestrial radiation. ये जो heat बाहर जा रहा है ना, इसको कहते हैं outgoing terrestrial radiation. The rays that are coming from the sun are called as incoming solar radiation, which is also in the short form known as insolation. So all these concepts, where do you get? You'll get in, go to chapter 8 of class 11, you will find it there. ठीक है, chapter 12 या chapter 8 यहाँ पे जाओ, you will get an entire detail of that, right? So now coming back to the question that so if you tap this glass, you are having, this is the composition. Now I take the same glass and I've got an idea that I wanted to go up to 80 kilometers above the surface of the earth. Okay. Now in this glass, again I told you that nitrogen होगा, oxygen होगा, carbon dioxide है, and argon. This is 78%, this is 21%, this is 0.03, and argon is 0.09 like that, right? So at this height, what gases you will find? What gases you will find? Online? Yes, Rishabh. Atmosphere ही नहीं होगा. This is what Rishabh says. Is it right? No. Atmosphere होगा. ठीक है? अर्थ का एटमॉस्फेयर कहाँ तक है? अर्थ का एटमॉस्फेयर काफी दूर तक है. So I'll tell you what gases you will find here. Our NCERT says that these gases are called as, up till 80 kilometers, if you take this glass, you will find similar composition in that glass. You close that lid, यहाँ पे अगर मान लो 78% नाइट्रोजन होगा ही. Now beyond 80 kilometers, the gases are divided on the basis of their weight. Okay. Until this range, you will have homogeneous air. Homogeneous. The air is homogeneous. Means you take that glass and tap, in that 78% nitrogen hoga, 21% oxygen, carbon dioxide will be there. But once you go beyond 80 kilometers, you will find the air like this. It is, suppose this is your earth. I told you this is your 80 kilometers above the surface of the earth. You went up, and here the air is based on the weight composition. Weight. So let me ask you a question. Is the carbon dioxide heavier or the oxygen heavier? Or the mass, atomic mass, बताओ. Atomic mass. Okay, पहले काउंट कर लेते. हाइड्रोजन, हीलियम, पीरियोडिक टेबल पढ़ा होगा, ठीक है, स्कूल में तो पढ़ा होगा. इफ नॉट, ऋषभ इज अ साइंस स्टूडेंट, बट ऑनलाइन लेट मी आस्क, व्हाट इज the atomic weight of this or atomic mass? See, periodic table में hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen atomic number is 8. इसका mass क्या होगा? हमेशा double होता है. मतलब the weight of oxygen is 16 units मान लो. What will be the weight of carbon dioxide? Anyone? 20? 44. कैसे? ठीक है. कार्बन का एटॉमिक नंबर क्या? हाइड्रोजन, हीलियम, लिथियम, बेरिलियम, बोरान, कार्बन. कार्बन का वेट 6 into 2, 12. ऑक्सीजन अगेन 16. 16 plus 12 कितना हो गया? 28. मतलब ठीक है, मोटा मोटा कहानी ये है. आई डोंट वांट यू टू गो इनटू टेक्निकलिटी. इन सिंपल टर्म्स, द मोर द हेवियर गैस, हियर it will retain itself. The heavier gases will be here. For example, out of this, carbon dioxide is heavier, it will be present here. So next, if you take oxygen, the entire layer will be having this. Okay, these are called as heterogeneous, right? Now where do you get this content? Go to chapter number 8 in the climatology. Go to chapter number air, which is composition and structure of the atmosphere. Go to this chapter, you will get it there, right? Come back. When you come back, you will understand that here this type of air is called as heterogeneous air, and this air is called as homogeneous air. So the words of homogeneous and heterogeneous are clearly written in this. Even the questions will be asked from these areas. Same, NCERT से direct ditto questions पूछा जाता है. Now let me show you how these questions are asked. I won't be boring you much. It is only 2 questions which I wanted to show you. So go to climatology. So this was a question which has been asked in the year 2019 in the UPSC Civil Services examination, which says that on 21st of June, the sun does not set below the horizon at the Arctic Circle. Does not set below the horizon at the Antarctic Circle. Shines vertically overhead at noon on the equator. Shines vertically overhead at the Tropic of Capricorn. So look here, your class 6 NCERT clearly tells you that this is the content. It's a clear cut. Look into another question. In the same cloudy night, there is another question that is asked. You will find it in the NCERT. कहाँ पे? Page number के साथ. So another question in 2018, you will again find them in the NCERT. Right? So climatology एक hot cake है NCERT के लिए and UPSC के लिए, because most of the questions of preliminary examinations will be asked from these areas. Right? So if I ask you a question, is oxygen present onto the higher altitudes or carbon dioxide present onto higher altitude? Okay, let me put this question in another way. Oxygen can be found up to 120 kilometers above the surface of the earth, and carbon dioxide can be found at above 80 kilometers of the surface of the earth. Is the statement right? Yes. ऑक्सीजन ना 120 किलोमीटर तक देखने के लिए मिलता है, बट लेकिन presence of that oxygen will be very less. Carbon dioxide as comparatively atomic mass को consider करते हुए it will be present around 80 kilometers per air per. You will get to see the heterogeneous. So on the weight basis they will be divided, right? Now coming back to our next topic, which is oceanography. Again, what chapters to be read from the oceanography? It is class 7 chapter 5. Go read class 11 chapter 13 and 14. That's it. This is what is the oceanography which talks about, and it is the easiest chapter. Sir, Hindi में भी बोल दीजिए. Okay. ये काफी easy chapter है, and oceanography is considered to be the most easiest chapters of all the chapters, and the conceptual understanding is very, very easy for this. So class 11, go read chapter 5. Come to class 11, 13 and 14. These are the chapters. Now in oceanography, what do you study? You simply study about the oceans. That means, see, generally we have a perspective that our oceans means which consists of tides and waves. It's just not the tides and waves. There is a lot more you will be studying about the tides and waves, more than the tides and waves. Now this is a small animation which will try to tell you what is in the interior of the ocean, right? So I won't be exaggerating, or it won't be exaggerating, that if I say that there are more plains in the ocean than on the land, there are more mountains in the ocean than on the land, there are more plantations in the ocean than on the land, and there is more greenhouse gases tapped in the ocean than in the atmosphere. Okay? That means our life is dependent upon the oceans more than the atmosphere. Okay? We do not see what is inside, so that is why we neglect it. But when you understand the oceanography, the chapters that I have told you, there you will get a complete clarity what is the significance of oceans. And in the current affairs, you might have heard that deep in the oceans we are going to drill that. Deep ocean mining कर रहे हैं हम लोग. So are they good or are they bad? Or else go for a GD. Okay? Maybe some students also write CAT examinations and all. Deep ocean drilling एक काफी important area है. If a GD is asked, if they do not know about these oceans, what about their quality of content that they will be? But the fundamentally NCERTs are the base, no doubt. Okay? Be it UPSC, civil services, NDA, any exam you write, these are the bases. Now coming back, so I wanted to ask you a question, that what is the difference between a tide and a wave? What is the difference between a tide and a wave? एक tide क्या होता है, एक wave क्या होता है? What is a tide and what is a wave? Can you tell me? Tides मतलब ज़्यादा height की होता है, और मून के इफेक्ट की वजह से you'll get the tides. Then waves क्या होता है? I'll add another term, currents. How do you define? These definitions are given in the NCERT books itself. Says that tide is nothing but when water rises up and falls down. Vertical movement of the water is tides. Wave is nothing but motion or the movement of energy. Okay? And current is movement of water. That is oceanic water. This is movement of oceanic water. That is your tides, sorry, currents. Now what is wave? Wave is simply the transfer of energy. आपने कभी waves देखा? Waves में the water will be moving in this path or in this motion. It is the water never gets moved more than 30 to 40 meters maximum. Because the water that is present during the wave formations or waves, the water will not move more than 30-40 meters. It is not the wave which is helping the water to move. It is actually the current which will help. Maximum of the highest displacement of water during a wave is 300 meters. That is what we have recorded. Beyond that, the water will not move. So in the wave, for example, let's consider this is a water. Okay? The water will go, again they come back. This is how they rotate. Again, here the pocket of water, they keep on rotating. They go forward, they fall down, and they come back. They go forward, they fall down, again they come back. Like this in circulation, this is one circulation, this is another circulation. Like that, water will always keep on rotating there. But इस मोशन में ना एनर्जी ट्रांसफर हो रहा है एक जगह से लेकर दूसरी जगह तक. So waves are simply transfer of energy. First, suppose if I am speaking, you guys are able to hear me, right? What waves did I generate? Sound waves. That means while I am speaking, I have generated a wave called sound wave, and this sound wave, it started to travel from here to that place, and you guys are able to hear me. Why? Because it's the sound wave. I have transmitted energy. It is the energy that is moving. Similarly, here also these are oceanic waves. But when it comes to currents, in this, the water will be moving. Now our oceans are dependent upon these three factors. If you have a clarity in them, you will have a good understanding of oceanography. Okay? Because the currents can be cold, can be warm. Water can be warm, water can be cold. So when you have these two, it is very easy. काफी आसान होता है आपको इसकी whatever the concepts you have learned in the climatology, you can apply it here. Right? Now this is what you will be learning. Next, coming to our next chapters, that is biogeography. So in biogeography, you will be studying about the soils and the vegetation. Okay? In the soils and vegetation, class 7, chapter 6 से chapter 10 पढ़ो. ठीक है? Class 11, chapter 15 and chapter 16. In the class 11 NCERT, read the chapter 16 and chapter 17. Right. Now, what is this biogeography? Biogeography talks about soil formations, and vegetation also it takes into account. Right? So, where is black soil of India found? Can anyone tell me? Which part of India has the most black soil? Right? Can anyone? Which part of the India will be having black soil more? Is it Himalayas, eastern part, western part, southern part, Deccan Plateau? Okay. This part of India will be having black soil, and it is also called as Deccan Plateau or Maharashtra Plateau, and some parts of Gujarat also you have black soil. So in the black soil, which crop can be the best crop? Which is the best crop grown in the black soil? Cotton, right? Cotton is considered to be the best soil, right? So why is cotton grown as the best in the black soil? So I told you this is the area where you will find black soil, and it is also good for cotton. The cotton, we are studying about crops also. In this we are also studying about soil also. That means vegetation related activities also will study in biogeography. Now when you understand these concepts of the topics like fundamentally geomorphology, climatology, oceanography and biogeography, you will then be able to understand the other side of geography called human geography. See, you study about the climate in that region. Why is the soil black? You will study in the geomorphology reasons. क्योंकि यहाँ पे volcanoes थे एक टाइम पे, काफी पुराना टाइम पर. अभी क्या है? अभी this is solidified rocks and it is black soil. Deccan basalt कहाँ जाता है? And cotton is grown here. Why is this cotton grown widely? It is because black soil के लिए cotton important crop होता है, क्योंकि cotton एक ऐसी crop है, after some time it do not want water. You grow, let's take as a cotton plant. So initially cotton seedlings, then the cotton plant comes out. After this, when the plant starts to grow a bit, and then once the plant starts to grow out, here you will get the bowl. Okay, cotton. This is cotton bowl. After the bowl starts to open up, and then finally the finest cotton, when it is coming out, imagine in the next stage the cotton is out and you can visibly see that cotton. Now this cotton do not need any water. Okay, the soil needs to be dried quickly, and that type of characteristics are well present in the black soil. Okay, black soils के अंदर, if you stop giving water to them, they quickly crack out. Okay, and once they crack out, they are dry, and cotton also needs the dry cropping, the dry conditions. That's why cotton is best grown in the black soil, and because of this you will be surprised to know that most of the cotton textile industries are located across this belt. अब सबको पता है ब्रिटिश जब इंडिया पे आया था, क्या किया उन्होंने? रॉ मटेरियल्स, दे टुक all the raw materials to Europe, and then they bought back what? They bought back finished product. See, when you understand the physical geography here, you will have the relationship with human geography understandings. Means, see, ब्लैक कॉटन सॉइल आपको पता है क्यों फॉर्म हुआ. अभी इसके कारण कॉटन प्लांटेशंस यू गॉट टू नो. नाउ दिस लोकल कंडीशंस हैड लेड टू द फॉर्मेशंस ऑफ टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्रीज इन इंडिया. हाउ? इट इज बिकॉज द टेक्सटाइल्स वर, the cotton is exported to Europe. There they used to yarn it, and then they bring the finest cloth into India and they sell here. In this due process, मुंबई जो है एक हब था. It is Mumbai, Surat, Vadodara, all these areas were the hub. And in this hub, machineries came in. मुंबई में कभी कॉटन ग्रो नहीं किया गया था, बट लेकिन मुंबई एक टेक्सटाइल हब बना था. क्यों? क्योंकि यहाँ से कॉटन ना मुंबई के थ्रू एक्सपोर्ट हो रहा था. When Mumbai all the cotton is being exported, and that they thought that may steam engine innovation के बाद or steam engines and machines innovations के बाद they started to set up their industries here. When they started to set up their industries here, Mumbai became a textile hub, and textiles के लिए you need good humidity, and that humidity is present naturally across the coastlines of India, and this across the coastlines of India, the initial industries are cotton industries. Okay? And if there are any initial industrialization that has happened in India, that is to the cotton industry. It is the power of the black soil and the black cotton soil. Why India is considered to be the textile hubs in the early 19th century? It is because this geography. Okay? Okay, come back. Here in the biogeography, you will learn about these kind of aspects, but you need to interlink this area with this area. This interlinking you cannot do as a teacher. You need some guidance and hand holding to chahiye, right? ये hand holding ऐसे ही किया जाएगा. In the upcoming batches we will be doing it, don't worry. Now come back. After biogeography, you also need to have an idea about the Indian geography. The chapters in the Indian geography are chapter number 7 and 8 in class 6. Chapter number 7 and 8 in the class 6. And class 9, chapter number 1 to chapter number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to read. So make sure to use this as a theme. Chapter number 1 to 5. And class 11, India Physical Environment. You have to read the complete book. This is a different book. That is entire geography of India. Okay? This is the order, or in the preference you have to go. Right? Next. These are the aspects of physical geography. So come back. Let me again take you to the geography. That is, in the geography, you have studied about one, physical geography. In the physical geography, you have studied about geomorph, right? Then climate, then oceanography, and you have biography, and then it is environmental geography. I'll come. What is this environmental geography? This is one part, and the other part of geography is human geography. Okay? This human geography is one of the important component. Every year there are some questions on this. Any exam you write. So human geography may, it can be broadly be divided into economic geography, number 1. It is population also, plus settlement. In this economic geography, you will also study about industries. So firstly, let me talk about the population and settlement geography and economic geography together as a single entity. Let's try to learn. See here, economic geography में firstly chapters कौन सा पढ़ना है? The chapters are number 1. Go to class 8 and read chapter number 1 to 5. Chapter number 1 से लेकर chapter number 5 तक. Class 12 chapter 5 and chapter 9. ठीक है? Chapter 5 to chapter 9. Class 7 chapter 7. Right? And the other chapters of human geography are 1. Chapter 6 in the class 8. Chapter 6 in the class 8. Go to class 12, you will find a book called Fundamentals of Human Geography. In the Fundamentals of Human Geography book, ये book आपको पूरा पढ़ना होगा है. You have to read this book, but while you are reading this book, you should be very cautious. The data that has been used in the book is as per the old census. You have to upgrade yourself. Now, where do you get that upgradation? We are here to give it to you. Okay. Conceptual clarity, you have to get it from there, but you have to get the updated current entity from us. Now coming back, what all these chapters include? It includes population, which is density of population, which also includes growth and composition, and migration, human development, human settlements. So let us try to understand this. What exactly is this population composition and other dynamics? See, here, broadly speaking, without human geography, the planning in the current context is never completed. And human geography can be understood only when you have understood the physical geography. Physical geography is the basis on which your human geography is applied. You go to a mountain, okay? You go to the mountainous region. Look into the types of settlements you have. The settlements are maybe ek ghar idhar hoga, again dur dur ek ghar, then you'll have a home here, like that, and then maybe 1-2 houses. But go to a city, you'll have thick populations, maybe a big building with multiple floors. Again, go to Bombay, you see big buildings with multiple floors. You will not find these kind of constructions in the hills. So these are called as dispersed settlements, right? And these are called as nucleated settlements plus urbanized. So here, what is the population composition? Means kitne old people hai, kitne young people hai, that we need to know. See, population is considered to be an asset when it is managed well. And population, if it is not managed well, it will be a disaster. And study of population is called as demography. And demographic assets को हम assets की तरह control करके रखना चाहिए, or else we have to give them the freedom to convert into a better assets. If you are not utilizing their potential, they will be disasters. What are these? See, in India today we have the youngest population as the highest. There are more young people than the old people. There are more young people whose average age is 29 to 35 years की बीच में है, more than the population of the newborn kids and all. You go to US, people are old. Go to Japan, old age people are more. Go to Europe, old age people are more. The working age population is less. If working age population is less and the old age people are more, what are the problems you will see? मतलब आपके घर में मान लो in your own age group only one person will be working because the population is less, and rest they are old people more, मतलब 4 old age people persons are there. What about the finances? What about their hospital bills? What about their healthcare, welfare? Who is going to take care? Don't you think that it's a very big burden on the single person who is earning, whether it is a man or a woman? Yes, it is. And today, those kind of countries are Japan. You go to the Europe, the old age population is more, but they are living very happily. The age today, you see in India, I told you, middle age population is more and the young population is less and the old age population is less. That means middle age population, which is young and youth, whose working age is more, working capabilities are more. आज लेकिन unemployment का ज़्यादा है. इसके कारण we are not able to convert the demographic asset into a potential usable asset. Rather, what are we doing? We are converting this demography into a disaster in waiting. But that, what is the government trying to do? It is trying to tell that, come make in India, ये problem solve करो. Make in India, share, babbar share, that you see. It is, come make in India so that more employment opportunity. Now imagine, after 20 odd years, all the young people, they'll turn older. That means India old age population will, and these nanne munne young bachche will become younger, will be working harder just to match their big burden. See, if you do not own industries, it is very difficult for you to handle the upcoming crisis. Why is that UK, US, Japan, they are able to live so happily? Because the young people are less, their old age population is more, but they own the industries elsewhere. काम करे या ना करे, वो तो पैसे तो मिल जाएगा, है ना? इंडिया में लेबर ज़्यादा है, ओनर्स कम है. So in the future, the labor are still laborers. इनोवेशन चाहिए, इंडेक्स बढ़ाना है इनोवेशन में. एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, स्टार्टअप इंडिया बोलता है गवर्नमेंट, गो स्टार्टअप, कम मेक इन इंडिया इट सेज, ताकि मोर अपॉर्चुनिटीज. India wants to industrialize. India wants industries in India come make. Why? It is because a demographic asset को maintain करने के लिए. All these things are taught here. ठीक है? Where? In the chapters of population. You will understand and you will get a complete picture here. Distribution, density, growth and composition. And there is a small theory called demographic transition theory. And also coming to the settlements. Settlements में क्या पढ़ना चाहिए? Settlements में you will study that. Number one, if you have attended any of my sessions, you will get to know that I generally ask a question: why is that Chandigarh not having more than 2 floors? It is because purely the settlement geography. Chandigarh as a city is a planned city. You go to Bhopal, you go to Indore also, same planned hai. Dispur, it's a planned city. Gandhinagar, no buildings more than 2 floors there. Why? Chandigarh, no buildings more than 2 floors except government buildings. Go to any planned city in India, they are having ceiling restrictions. You cannot construct more than a 1 floor. मतलब 2 floors से ज़्यादा आप construct नहीं कर सकते हो. क्यों? क्योंकि हर एक सिटी जब प्लान किया जाता है एक लिमिटेड पॉपुलेशन के लिए प्लान किया जाता है. एंड चंडीगढ़ व्हेन इट वाज प्लान्ड फॉर ओनली 50,000 people. Later they increased the population to 250,000 and today it is 5 lakh people is the ceiling limit. So imagine Chandigarh mein I told you that only 2 floors building can be constructed, ground floor, first floor, second floor. Beyond that, there is no permission. Why? It is because the city is having a capability to accommodate only 5 lakh population, but लेकिन migration काफी ज़्यादा होता है, and the government wants to stop this migration. How? Simply put a ceiling here. You cannot construct. That means even if more people are coming in, they have to live here. But imagine government ने एक और floor डालने के लिए permission दे दिया. So more people will come and settle here. Parking spaces, problem. Parks, problem. Water, there will be a problem. Underground usage, it will be a problem. चंडीगढ़, पूरे चंडीगढ़ के लिए पानी का एक सोर्स होता है सुखना लेक. एक छोटी सी नदी है जो कसोली से there is a river that comes, that is Kasoli river, which drains into Sukna lake, and that is why the groundwater table of that city is being maintained. But like this, you go to any city, there are ceiling limits. That ceiling limits are the ones which we are going to study, and the population distribution we are going to study. If you go to Mumbai, or if you ask any of your friends, relatives, long distant friends, अरे मुंबई का रेंट क्या है? काफी ज्यादा है. क्यों? Anyone? Why is the Mumbai having so much of rents? Online. Why is this Mumbai as a city having so much of rents? Highest rent paying is in Mumbai. So if you want a 2-bedroom house or just one single bedroom house, you have to pay in the city center somewhere around 50,000 rent. Why? You go to Hyderabad, renting is less. वही 15,000 में मिल जाता है. You go to Secunderabad, you'll get it cheaper. Why? Why is this Mumbai so costly? If you are staying in Old Rajendra Nagar, there is a different concept altogether into settlements. Migration is one of the reasons why your Old Rajendra Nagar is so costly. It is you guys made it costly. People from all walks of the world, India, they come for UPSC civil services preparation. and settle in Rajendra Nagar, you pay hefty prices for that. You increased it. But look into Mumbai. Mumbai mein, your settlement geography says that if you see this city of Mumbai, usually you have high-rise buildings with multiple floors, and this is your working space or offices, and this is your home. Issue of Mumbai is that there is no better infrastructure present there. Mumbai is an irregular place. It is like some Mumbai is here, some Mumbai is here. Matlab, it's a collection of different places. Biggest problem is there is no connectivity. Infrastructure connectivity is not there. Instead, a person who is staying in this area, he or she doesn't want to come and travel on a daily basis this long distance. Rather, they are paying that hefty price just to stay near to their workplace. It is because there is not good infrastructure in terms of transportation. But look at Delhi. Delhi mein metro rails are there for 40-50 kilometers. From that side, this side, 1 घंटे में पहुंच सकते, कोई कहीं से भी एक कोने से दूसरे कोने तक metro availability है in spite of that traffic. Infrastructure is the fundamental reason why your renting capabilities can increase or decrease, or rentals will be increasing or decreasing. So where do you get all of this content? Base तो NCERT में मिलेगा, but लेकिन a teacher's understanding is definitely required for you all. Right? Now when you debate on these points in your GDs, in your answer writings, and very good arguments or very good valid points in your interviews, no doubt, you will definitely get into the list. And quote examples of this kind in the answers. Where do you get those examples? Content तो NCERT में मिलेगा, but लेकिन examples आपको current affairs हल्का सा पढ़ के in our classrooms you'll get it. Right? Now, the other concept of settlement geography is like this. See, your settlement geography, let me show you 2 different places. Okay? Let's go to a place called India Gate, or this is a place where the finest of India you will get to see. This is a planned city. ठीक है? दूर से देखो कितना सुंदर दिख रहा है. ये है एक planned city का नतीजा. Very fine, distantly placed greenery all over, and you will be very surprised to know if I tell you that a city which is having the highest green cover is Delhi in terms of percentage. Okay? And of course it is also the most polluted city as well. That pollution and this forest has nothing to do. This part of Delhi is called New Delhi, which is clearly planned. Look how beautiful it looks. Now let me show you another part of Delhi. If you look into, what is this? A visual difference which you will get to see just kilometers away. Now that part of Delhi is planned Delhi. This is an unplanned Delhi. Planning एक important component होता है, and that planning will have the ideas in the settlement geography. Industries कहाँ पे set up करना चाहिए, where one has to have a clear cut strategy in terms of city planning. Look into this part of the city. क्या कितना फर्क है, the one image which you have seen and this image. Like this, cities are getting choked. It's because of lack of planning. When you have a planned city, the planned city is considered to be a beautiful city. Look at this planned city. So planning important component hai, no doubt. Planning is much required. You go to any city, some city is planned, but we have to plan for the future, because the constructions which you construct, they have a limited time. The concrete which is there, if I dig hard, maximum lifespan of this concrete is only 70 years. For 70 years what? You have to reconstruct it, rebuild it. So think on long-term basis, long scale planning, settlement geography ko padhna chahiye. Right? So these are the aspects which are dealt in the human geography. And other last component is industrial geography. Industrial geography mein aapko, it clearly talks about one, industries kahan pe set up karna chahiye. See, I told you we have learned about the cotton, right? That means where are the cotton industries, textile industries? They are set up next to the cotton plantation. But what about the iron and steel plant? The first steel plant in India, iron and steel plant, commercially utilized, is Tata Steel, right? Where is it located? जमशेदपुर. ठीक है, जमशेदपुर एक ऐसी जगह है, ये है यहाँ से सुवर्ण रेखा और यहाँ से खरखोई रिवर, ये दोनों एक जगह मिलता है, एंड दिस इज नथिंग बट जमशेदपुर. एंड जमशेदपुर इज द प्लेस वेयर द स्टील प्लांट्स आर सेटल्ड. एंड छोटा नागपुर करके एक ऐसी जगह है जहाँ पे सारे इंडस्ट्रीज, यू नेम एन इंडस्ट्री यू विल गेट देयर, राइट? व्हाई? Because of geomorphology. You study the geomorphology. Now come back and understand, ये जो steel plant है ना, will it be set up near to the raw material or near to the market? If I have to set up an industry, I need to look for location as well, right? So should I have to set up near to the raw material or near to the market? Where should I go? Where do you think I should go? Near to the market. Every industry is not located near to the market. If suppose while extracting the ore is nothing but raw material. If that raw material is too heavy, I will not transport that raw material to the market and establish an industry at the market. Rather, I will establish my industry next to the raw material, and then after filtering it, if my final product is less in weight, I'll be setting up that industry next to the market. If the raw material weight is less, I can transport that raw material. See, for example, this is the area where you will get iron ore, and this is the market, and the distance between them is 500 kilometers. I will not transport the ore to this area. Rather, what I'll do is I'll set up my industry here. Why? Because iron ore काफी heavy होता है. That heavy material को, if you start to take it and put an industry here, transportation, it will be very costly. Transportation cost काफी ज़्यादा होता है. That's why you take off that ore, filter it, and the final product is less weight, right? That means I'll set up my industry here. Cotton है, cotton ज़्यादा weight नहीं है, so I can set up cotton industry anywhere today. But लेकिन cotton को humidity चाहिए. Humidity is naturally present in these areas. That means I'll be setting my cotton plantations in a natural format in the coastal areas, right? On the other side, if you see, today we have the technology where we can create artificial humidity. This artificial humidity के कारण आप कहीं पे भी जाओ टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री देखने के लिए मिलता है. शुगर केन इंडस्ट्री जो है, कहाँ पे सेटअप करना चाहिए? मार्केट के पास या मार्केट से दूर या रॉ मटेरियल के पास? Anyone from UP? Let me know. Where do you think sugarcane industry need to be set up? Near to the market or far away from the market? Or near to the source of the raw material? See, it need to be set up near to the raw material. क्यों? क्योंकि आप sugarcane फसल काटते हो, काटने के बाद 24 घंटे के अंदर, if it is not milled, 30 to 60% of the sugar will go into the air. Evaporate हो जाता है, ठीक है, saturate हो जाता है. Sugar content will be less. So a farmer need to have good tie-ups with the industry, so that industry will be located next to the sugarcane areas. मतलब अगर मान लो आप आज फसल काटने वाले हो या हार्वेस्ट करने वाले, then you will make sure that it need to get into the market within 24 hours, right? So that is how industries are placed. Where do you get all this content? All the content you will find it in the NCERTs, right? Now coming back to the chapter numbers, you have all the chapter numbers which I have told you. Now here, let me show, I've also shown you some questions which are associated with it, right? Questions are, you name a question, you will get it in the NCERT, and these are previous year questions from the examinations. Our research team has clearly said that there are at least 40% of the questions from NCERT. ठीक है, 40 to 50 डायरेक्ट आप NCERT पढ़ने से ही हो जाएगा. तो पहले the first thing that you have to do is read the NCERTs. And reading alone is a difficult task, no doubt. Suppose if you are a full-time aspirant, it might be easy for you, but for someone who is preparing on the work, आप काम भी कर रहे हो, prepare भी करना है, तो दिक्कत तो होगा. Understanding you need to understand with current affairs integration also, and you need to test yourself, evaluate yourself. For that you need to have a platform. So we provide you that platform. What do? We teach you here. Along with we teaching, every day after a class you will have a test. In that test you have to solve the questions, and we have a platform called artificial intelligence platform that will tell you where you are weak in, which area you are weak in, which area you are strong in. 10 टेस्ट या 10 दिन अटेंड करके देख लो, आपको खुद ही पता चलेगा कहाँ पे आप लैकिंग हो. Because we have the technology, no one in India uses. We are the first ones. I can proudly tell you, we are the first ones. Yesterday our MK sir has clearly showed you how artificial intelligence work. I do not want to get into that nitty-gritties again, just that I wanted to tell you the importance and significance. मान लो अगर आपने कुछ chapters पढ़ लिया, you have studied a chapter called this geomorphology, you have studied, ठीक है. After studying geomorphology, you should evaluate yourself. Are you able to understand this, or are you not able to understand this? Then you write a test. If suppose some factual content is there, factual question is there, if you have a factual question, that means if you are weak in the factual area, our artificial intelligence test platform will tell you that आपने factual content में weak है, analytical content में weak है, और किस chapter में weak है ये भी बता देगा आपको, ताकि एक आपका hard work के साथ you will have a technological support. ठीक है? So that's why these classes are meant to give you an understanding into the subject, right? And when you have the hard work and understanding from your side, we will be giving you the technical support and a conceptual support from the faculty. What else a student needs for that success? And trust me guys, there is no right way to do a wrong preparation, and there is no wrong way to do a right preparation. राइट प्रिपरेशन राइट स्ट्रैटेजी के साथ ही होता है, एक अच्छा फैकल्टी के साथ, अच्छा इंस्टीट्यूट के साथ ही होता है. एंड कम अलोंग इन दिस NCERTs, we will be teaching you every bit, everything that is there in this subject, so that you will have a holistic understanding. I hope I have given you a complete glimpse of this particular subject called geography. And you need to have a clear-cut domain also, कहाँ पे क्या पढ़ना चाहिए, क्या नहीं पढ़ना चाहिए. So soon an NCERT batch is starting, and that NCERT batch you can enroll there, and we already have sizable number of students. Only we let in few students into this, and our foundation courses are also beginning from the 13th of January. You can also enroll there, and if you do have any doubts regarding the topics that we have discussed, what you can do is you can directly drop a message to me. My name is Madhusudan Reddy. My number is, this is my contact number. You can drop a message or you can give a call to me. If I'm in the classroom, I'll be definitely giving you a call back. Any doubt, you can simply drop a message here, and you can be part of the upcoming NCERT course as well. The course modules will be starting from, you'll have 80+ sessions, and which will be, if you are an online student, you will have the portal. Even if you are an offline student, you will still be given a portal access for you. जहाँ पर सारे concepts it will be cleared, and it can be accessed for sizable amount of time, and 180+ hours of dedicated support आपको मिलेगा online में, offline में भी, and guided approach to utilize value added material also will give you, and chapter by chapter we will tell you what is the issue, where is the current affairs located for that particular chapter, if at all they are coming up into the current affairs area. Otherwise, other areas are, every class you will have a summary handout of it, and then session schedule, usually it will be from Monday to Friday. Every day there shall be a class from Monday to Friday, and lastly it is online, and in Chandigarh you can also come attend offline, right? So this is all we have got for you, and feel free to contact us, and you can get the printer, you can get the PPT of the current class which I have discussed on the Telegram channel. The link will be provided in the description below. There you can get to the Telegram channel and you can download the PPT there also. But I would request to make a separate page and write all the content which is there here, so that you will have a single page notes and you can revise it very quickly. And if you have any doubts, you can post in the comment section, and offline, Rishabh, if you have any doubts, let me know. I'll be taking up the doubts. Online, okay. You can also message me. Yes, you can also message me, not an issue. You can always message me. And that's it. We'll end the classroom here. And for any further queries, you can directly contact me as well, or the registered numbers which are given here. Our team will be most happy to help you. Thank you guys, and see you in the next class. Tomorrow you will get a complete glimpse of polity. क्या पढ़ना चाहिए, क्या नहीं पढ़ना चाहिए, कहाँ से पढ़ना चाहिए. ये होता है एक fundamental base on which your preparation should start. And NCERTs no doubt एक platform create करता है, and एक level of students where the knowledge enhancement के लिए, take off के लिए NCERTs काफ़ी ज़रूरी है, and वहाँ से we are going to start with these sessions. So make sure to be part of this, and see you in the next classes as well. Thank you. So Joe Stock told me, sir, will you teach us geography in GS Foundation course also? Aditya Sharma, I'll be taking up the geography course for GS also. Preetham Yadav says near to raw material. Yes, please reply, sir. Panwan, you will get a message. I'll personally message you. You can contact. Yes, thank you guys, and see you tomorrow. Varun sir will be taking up tomorrow's session, and tomorrow Varun sir will be coming and he'll be taking up polity for you, right? And regarding geography, any doubt you have, you just drop a message, and I'll also be taking up the foundation course geography for you as well, right? It will be very simple and lucid. Every doubt will be detailed there, and every doubt will be taken up with utmost care, right? Thank you, and see you.